The VIVE XR Elite. Now I'm sure you've seen plenty of review videos about this headset, you know all the specs, you know what there is to know about it, but here's my take on this little headset. Now of course the first thing that hits you upon getting one of these is the form factor. That's probably the biggest selling point. It is a tiny headset, and with it in glasses mode, or temple mode I think they call it, you know, it's a small form factor, very light, which aids comfort and portability. But that being its big selling point, there's a couple of issues I have with it. One, my mistake no doubt, but I actually thought this came with the capsule. You've seen it in videos where they slot it in a capsule for travelling, and being that how small it is and portable it is a big selling point, I'm very surprised it didn't come with one. I thought it did, but no, it doesn't. That's what it's like when it's folded up. Okay, great, so good for travelling and so on. But you know what, if you've got the original strap on the Quest 2, it's not that much bigger. I mean, maybe in video it looks a lot bigger. It is bigger, but I don't think anyone's at the point where like, I just can't fit that. Oh, but that'll fit fine. When you've got the arms on, it's great. You can put it on and you can lean back, you know, in your coach seat or in your aircraft seat, whatever. That's fine. You can even lie down and whatnot. But you can do that on the Quest 2 if you've got the usual strap on, perfectly fine. And you can even lean your head against the side of something a bit easier. But what you can't do in the XR Elite, and something you do want to do if you're doing a lot of travel, is wear your awesome over-ear headphones. They just won't go over your ear because of the arms. And of course I like to travel with my old school quiet comforts, and these fit perfectly over the strap of the Quest 2, and as an added bonus I can plug them in, which you can't do on the XR Elite. There is no 3.5 headphone socket. Well, it has a USB-C there. I assume that works. If that doesn't work, that's just ridiculous. You can't plug into there because obviously that's going to plug into a power bank. You need to plug this in. This obviously has the battery already in it. This needs a battery pack as well. Now if you're traveling, you're going to have a battery pack, but I'd argue you want a separate one just for this. The fact that this is so light and you know, you can move around a lot in it also means it might be good for, you know, if you want to get into some VR fitness and stuff. But bear in mind that this thing is just going to soak up all your sweat. It's material. It's not like, you know, I've replaced the Quest 2 one with this kind of pleather feel one from VR Cover, which is great. You can wipe that down, whatever. This is just going to soak everything up. So you're sort of losing a bit of benefit there for you buying this for your fitness apps. It's just going to be nasty. And as far as I know, there's no replacements yet that you can get third party. The actual head strap is pretty decent. This is, I mean, it's comfortable. It's your typical ratchet, you know. In glasses mode, it's actually a lot tighter than I expected it to be. I don't have a particularly big head, but these are pretty tight. I don't know how much life there is in these clips here. I've got nothing to suggest there's going to be an issue with them other than they just don't feel the most solid. This, talking about build quality, this is, it's good and all, but it comes off so easy. When you're fiddling about with it, taking it on and off, there's almost no strength in the magnets holding it on, I find. It comes off very easy. I'm not the only one to say that. I saw that in preview video. This thing really isn't much of a face padding. It's more just to stop the light. For me, this is more comfortable with the VR cover. I've got the cool gel mask thing on there. This is harder. This is quite hard here. It's not uncomfortable because it is so light, and you know, you can move your head around a lot and you don't feel any weight at all. But I think the huge problem with this is this just sits on your nose, basically. This solid bit here, there's no padding, so to speak. I'm not saying it's uncomfortable. What that means is it sits quite high up, and that's going to be dependent. If you've got really thin bridge of your nose, you'll be able to have it a bit lower down, and that's really impacting what I'm seeing in the headset. So my biggest problem with this is the small FOV. It is small. I'm not going to go into numbers and measure it all and whatnot because people get different numbers, but suffice to say it's noticeably smaller than the Quest 2, and particularly looking downward. So, you know, if I'm in a car, in an aircraft, in one of my simulators, and I've got the cockpit in front of me, I can see it great with the Quest 2 down here, but it's cut off. It is cut off quite abruptly in this headset. It just feels it sits quite high up, and there's nothing you can do about that. There's no manipulating you can do that. You can't angle it. This is all fixed, so you can't angle it on your face or anything. There's nothing you can do. You can't replace the face padding to get it any different, change the FOV or whatnot. It is what it is, really. That's my main problem. But the actual clarity of the headset, you know, it is high resolution than the Quest 2. It's, you know, it looks clearer. I'd say it's not as bright. Again, I don't have numbers, but especially compared to the Quest Pro and compared to the Quest 2, it's not as bright. I guess due to the pancake lenses they're using, and just not as good as the Quest Pro. And likewise, the sweet spot is quite small. It's not edge to edge at all, like the Quest Pro is completely edge to edge. So I'm trying to wrap this up quite quick because I'm actually quite annoyed about this headset. You know, I was looking forward to it. I thought it'd be HTC's comeback. I was hoping, been let down really too many times, or hyped myself up too many times. I'll see it with their hype train where they release these stupid pictures on their headsets. I think we've all had enough of that by now. But yeah, I've pretty much given up on HTC coming back really into the VR scene in a big way anymore. There's no mirror. That's a good thing, you know. That's something I moan about a lot. There's no mirror at all. There is pixel inversion, slight lines with head movement, pretty much in every headset to some degree. Less than the several Pros I tried, but more than this. But a lot of people don't even notice it, don't know what it is, so that's not really a problem for most people. It's just really the small FOV that really gets me, and I don't find it super comfortable. But the small FOV really kills it for me. The controllers, they're decent, they're nice controllers. I do actually really like the feel of the thumb pad. I like the fact that they're USB chargeable, although to be fair, the Quest 2 controllers last forever and a day on their battery, which is probably more useful, especially travelling. Take a pair of batteries, you're done, you know, it's going to last you a couple of weeks holiday. Yeah, I haven't got much more to go into, to be honest with you. The software side of things isn't great. The VIVE software is pretty naff. It won't let me update. It let me update when I originally got it. Now it always says there's an update, but it just won't work. It just won't update, and I've seen other people having the same problem. It's, you know, it's not my internet or anything. Virtual Desktop isn't out yet. It's on the way. It's coming. I'm sure that'll improve the wireless PC VR experience. You know, it works okay. Comparing it to this with Virtual Desktop, there's no comparison at the moment. But really, it's all about the hardware at the moment, and it's just not worth the money. What is it, 1,300 quid? If you really want this, if you're going for this for a bit of extra clarity, because yeah, it's a higher resolution picture than the Quest Pro, there's no point getting this over the Quest Pro unless you're worried about the form factor. Obviously the Quest Pro, it's fixed with its, you know, with its solid headband. There's nothing you do that you can't fold it down, you can't, you know, get it smaller than it is. But that it's a better headset than this in every way. The Quest Pro I find does hurt my forehead, but a lot of people just put the extra top strap on and that alleviates this problem. Likewise, actually, when I'm using this with the full headband, it comes with an extra head strap. I found I had to start wearing that or this wasn't so comfortable. But the Quest Pro, otherwise, it's just better. You've got obviously the tracked controllers, and the clarity is second to none. It's edge to edge, 100% clarity. Don't have to worry about sweet spot. The whole bleeding thing's a sweet spot. So yeah, I don't know why you would go for this, really. The pass-throughs, yeah, pass-through's pretty decent. You can use your phone and stuff in pass-through, but it's not amazing. You know, everything doesn't look quite right. It's not what we're hoping for in pass-through that I thought we'd have by now, really, with proper 3D depth and everything. But yeah, I don't know, that's it. Look, I didn't really want to go in depth and spend too much time on a video about this. The too long, didn't watch the whole thing really is... I don't particularly recommend it. I don't recommend it at all, really, unless you're really after that smaller form factor there. But, you know, I'd take this over this, especially regarding the price. More than double the price of this, and a Pro is what, 300 quid less than this now. Yeah, that's it, really. Big disappointment, big disappointment. Any questions or comments, drop them below. I'll always try to answer. Yeah, not the best, not the most professional level of review, sorry, but you know, I'm just disappointed with it. I don't recommend it to anyone. And that'll do, and I'll catch you later. Cheers.